Hey everybody, this is Mace1370. Very excited to be doing a full, I guess, draft of all the different sets. I'll put together Dragon Maze, Gatecrash, and Ravnica, or Return to Ravnica. I guess this is a Swiss queue since it's a release queue and not an 8-4, but I think Talic Blade of the Legion is pretty strong. So I'll probably take him. I think other good cards in the pack are Hunter of Night Vale. Gleam of Battle is probably good. I don't know about this card. I don't know. I'm joined by Zxarien. What do you think, Zxarien?
I think it's pretty clearly either the Talic, as you mentioned, or the Hunter of Night Vale. Nothing
Yeah.
else really comes close. I think honorable mentions probably go to the Divination.
Oh yeah, the Pilfered Plans. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not sure what I think about this guy. He seems pretty strong, but very slow, and I don't think as good as Talic or Hunter.
No, not at all.
Okay, this guy I don't think is that great. We kind of talked about him on the set review. Um, so Boros Bluestone, I don't think that should be considered. Vishino First Blade seems decent. Carnage Gladiator seems very strong. Um, I don't know. Like, are you of the opinion to just kind of take the best card for the first couple packs and then see what's open? That's kind of the prevailing wisdom that I've seen. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think that holds pretty true for basically any new format or any,
Mm-hmm.
um, and unless there's kind of a strong reason to do otherwise. But in this case, I think the Viashino First Blade is pretty close. I mean, Carnage Gladiator is by all means better, but I'd probably just stick to my guns right now and stay with the Viashino.
Take the Vishino. Yeah, yeah, I think so. One sec. Yeah. So yeah, Zertarju is also a card to consider here, but I think the Carnage Gladiator and the Vishino First Blade are both very strong. Um, I could see staying the course here for a pick or two. So here we have a Rebel Belt Malka, which is decent, I think. Jellin Sphinx, I think, is very strong. Krasis Incubation, also very strong. Doesn't really go with our first two picks, though. This card's fine. I think Jellin Sphinx is probably the best card in the pack, that or Krasis Incubation. None of these other cards are really standing out to me too much.
I think it's pretty close, and I would, by all means, be pretty happy with Boros and Azorius as a
Yeah,
minor.
I think that would be a good combination to go. One thing that I'm not sure about is in terms of colors. This seems like a very complicated format, and I don't know right now, this just being the first time I've ever drafted it, what the best way to go about figuring out your colors in the draft is. Some people are advocating just kind of sticking to two colors as best you can. It seems like a format where three-color decks are going to be pretty common, though, so I guess we'll see. Here, there's a Spike Jester is pretty good. Boros Mastiff is fine, I guess. Windrake is always fine. Maze Rusher, I think, is probably too slow. Same thing with Smelt Warden Gatekeepers. I think Weapon Surge is a good combat trick, but I don't know if we will, if we want to take a combat track here or just a creature like Windrake or Boros Mastiff. Between these two, I think Windrake is much better. So I'm kind of leaning towards Windrake. What about you?
It depends on how aggressive we want to be. If we wanted to be an aggressive deck, which is where First Blade would really shine, then I think we should take the Mastiff and not go too deep into blue.
Okay.
But if we want to do kind of keep our options open and do kind of a mid-range deck, then Windrake's awesome in like the typical blue-white flyers or Azorius deck.
I'm kind of curious to see if, yeah, I'm gonna take the Windrake. I think I like blue a lot. I like flyers, and it seems like we might be getting a blue signal here with Open Gatekeepers and Deputy.
Yeah,
I think Boros Mastiff is replaceable enough that we can skip out on it for now.
He is. I'd be so if we want an angle mid-range, just let's be cognizant of what Pack 2 is going to look like. Gatecrash, the only Gatecrash guild we're going to have is Boros,
Yeah.
and so we'll need to be on the keep an eye out for that. We'll want to kind of prioritize probably the muggings and the homing lightning a little higher than we otherwise would have normally.
So here we have Opal Gatekeepers, and I think we were talking about this earlier. It'll be hard to get enough gates to make these guys really good. Deputy of Acquittals is good. So is Runner's Bane. I think it's between these two, but I'm not really sure which one you take.
I'd like to see how Deputy does.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm kind of curious. So we'll take that.
I also think what people are, from what I've seen in limited experience, is that people are underrating Runner's Bane, and so you can get later than otherwise. Granted, that was basically fifth.
So here we have an interesting choice. And yeah, Runner's Bane, again, I think underrated maybe a little, and also people are misplaying with it a lot. They're not realizing it can fall off. I've seen quite a few misplays with this card, for example, where they're not pumping their creature that's been removed with Runner's Bane to get rid of it. But so here, I think this is a reasonable combat trick. I'm kind of leaning towards he is a Guildgate, though.
I have not played with Protect and Serve yet,
Yeah,
so I can't really rate it. It seems strong, but I think I'd probably take the Izzet as well.
Yeah, this seems like it's a Guildgate that we want. Again, I don't know how tough it's going to be to get them. I mean, apparently there's another one here.
That's
there's also another
gift with a Windrake, yeah.
Pretty close between these two.
I don't think it's that close.
Windrake?
Yeah.
This guy, not a big fan. Alright, yeah, we'll take the Windrake. Here,
Flux Chargers. I've been pretty impressed with this guy.
I mean, at this point, we're basically committing to red, white, blue. I guess that's fine. You know, we're going to have access to quite a few flyers and all the Boros creatures in the next pack, so I think that'll be reasonable. But yeah, this guy seems pretty nice and kind of what we want. He plays defense, he gets in on offense, he helps enable Battalion. We get a couple combat tricks and turn him into a 5/1 that bashes for quite a bit. Interesting. So, Gleam of Battle and Boros Mastiff Wield. This card seems like it could be very strong. Granted, it is a 6-drop, but it has an immediate impact. Boros Mastiff is nice just because it's, you know, a 2-drop to fill our curve.
At this point,
towards a Mastiff, but
I agree with the Mastiff, and at this point, I wouldn't plan on playing either. I mean, I don't think Gleam of Battle is honestly all that playable.
Really? Okay.
I think it's just going to be too slow.
And here, I guess we just take Steeple Rock.
Steeple Rock seems awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we could take Azorius Cliffstone or Marine Phantasm. I don't know which one we're more likely to play. I don't think we're particularly likely to play either, to be honest.
No, I don't think you're going to play either, but in that case, I'd probably just take the Cluestone. Just
err on the side of fixing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I think the way this deck is angling, you're not going to need the 05. Plus, Nivik Cyclops is perfectly reasonable.
It's just better than that, yeah.
But you're not going to need that either.
Alright, well, happy enough to pick this guy up. Maybe we'll grab enough gates to make them make the cut.
But I think we certainly did overrate the Opal, or the whole Gatekeeper cycle.
In the set review, I agree. I noticed that like almost immediately when we did this guy's Stone Cold Unplayable, so I think we're just taking another Stone Cold Unplayable. I don't know. And for signaling reasons, we'll take this guy. I don't think we're playing him either. But yeah, I noticed when I did the triple Dragon's Maze draft, like gates just vanished. Like, so there was one in every pack, and we got one. Maybe I don't prioritize them high enough.
Can you hide the event list on the right, and then expand the card view?
I could, but the recording is not recording the event thing. It's only recording the card window, and it's doing it in like the 1280 by 720 format. So.
Yep. Never mind.
Yeah, sorry about that. But so I'm actually debating about taking the Guildgate here. Is that bad? Because I mean, like we have armor transport, not exciting really.
Sorcery Denizen, it was always solid. It was solid in Boros, but I'm not sure how many just white creatures you have.
Yeah, it seems like we have like a decent amount of blue here.
You do, but there's nothing super committing you to blue yet. I mean, the Flux Charger and the Sphinx are good.
They're good.
I mean, I could see taking the Boros Guildgate, just in an effort to be more...
we have so many 3-drops right now, is my concern with taking the First Street.
That's true.
And taking this gets us one step closer to making purple, a good card. So there's an Assault Griffin, a Martial Glory, a Skinbrand Goblin, Sapphire Drake. I don't think this card would be particularly great for us. Burning Tree Emissary, I guess, is a theoretical consideration, but I don't think it would be the best in our deck. I like Assault Griffin, and I like Skinbrand Goblin. I guess for curve reasons, we probably want the Goblin, right? Yeah,
the old adage always holds. Although that being said, we have 11 creatures already. We could use a trick. Granted, Skinbrand Goblin also is basically a trick too.
Yeah, and that to me kind of tips me over the edge. I mean, Martial Glory is really great, but Skinbrand Goblin does both.
Yeah.
And combo. No, does that count?
Okay.
Combo. All right, so I guess we'll take this and move on.
Yeah, I do want to point out that Martial Glory does work pretty well in concert with the Flux Charger.
Good point. Good point. We might need to. So this might wheel. We could take Cloud from Raptor.
You know, that is reasonable. Yeah.
I kind of want to take Cloud from Raptor.
I almost glazed over it entirely because I'm so used to just seeing Boros.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on like how deep we go into 3 colors here, but it's looking like we're fairly deep into blue at this point. We have 4 blue cards, 5.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I like Cloud from Raptor here. There wasn't much competition in that pack. Right?
At this point, then, I definitely would not be looking towards the Court Route Denizens.
No, I don't think so.
And here, this is very clearly the Daring Skyjack.
Yeah, this card's pretty good. I wonder, and again, these Assault Griffins are very nice. Some of them might even wheel. And we already have 4, or 3 4-drops, and I just don't want to get overloaded on those. And this is kind of the pack where we need to get, like the 2-drops, I feel. There's just not as many, or not as many good ones in Return to Ravnica.
I honestly don't remember the Return to Ravnica set well enough.
There was the 2-1 that detained when he came in, and then there was the Keening Apparition was another one.
Oh, right, Keening Apparition.
Yeah. So here, Daring Skyjack, Righteous Charge, Basilica Guards.
Okay.
Righteous Charge actually could be reasonable in our deck. We have a lot of flyers.
It could be, but this is not a close pick.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to get combat tricks here towards the end. I don't feel like taking them super highly. This pack is pretty miserable. So Ripscale Predator is a 6-drop. I guess but it's just not doing what our deck is doing. Scorchwalker.
I could see Spell Rupture.
Spell Rupture.
It's not the worst. I wouldn't plan on main decking it by any
I'm not
means.
planning on main decking either of these. So.
But I would continue avoiding double colors or double.
That's another compelling reason. Okay. So I don't think we want Fortress Cyclops. Debtor's Pulpit is removal, which we don't really have any. But it's not, again, we want, I think, instants and sorceries for this guy for our removal. We could take Sage's Road Denizen, but he's not exciting. Night's Watch enables Flux Charger. I think Debtor's Pulpit's probably the strongest card in the pack.
It is. I would hope that we're not playing any of them in
No,
reality.
I agree.
So I guess take the Debtor's Pulpit.
Yeah, if anything, it might be sideboard against a certain bomb that we might not have a way to deal with. I think here we probably just take Totally Lost. So again, none of these are like super exciting. Right?
Yeah.
Any objections there?
No, I agree. I do feel like we are a little low on playables, so we might want to keep that in mind when we start seeing more guild gates.
Okay. I guess Armor Transport.
Yeah. Just because I don't really want to play the Opal Lake Gatekeepers or the Spell Rupture.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do that either. I think we have 16 creatures, and 15 if you take away that. I don't know about Armor Transport, but I guess we're taking Scatter Arc for the board here. We don't want any of these in our deck.
It's kind of a little awkward that we didn't see any Sky Knight Legionnaires or...
Yeah. Or any of the really good Boros 2-drops either.
Right. The
I
Wojak
guess we got the
Halberdiers.
Skyjacks.
Got the Skyjack, but no Wojak Halberdiers and no Firefish Strikers or anything.
Is Keyrune versus Tiger?
Probably the Tiger. I mean, what are the odds you're actually going to play Keyrune?
What are the odds I'm going to play Tiger?
Okay.
Multi-Lord Denver's Pulpit is clear.
I would have taken the Beckham Apparition. It's fringe playable.
Oh, yeah, alright. Fair, I glanced over it. I don't think we're short on playables per se, but
No, we're not short, but you just keep it in mind
yeah.
that we still definitely need. You can have the Shattering Blow.
Right now, this just feels like a bad Boros deck to me.
How does Nivek's Cyclops change?
Instant sorceries.
Okay.
He doesn't change. He just gets +3, +0.
So I think
Sunspire Griffin is good, but it is double color. Hussar Patrol is fine. We have a Guild Gate, a Cackler.
Cackler is very aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know how aggressive this deck is. It seems fairly aggressive.
It's fairly aggressive.
I mean, Sunspire Griffin is Sunspire Griffin.
That it is.
I think it's between these three. I don't think the Keyrune is really a consideration here.
No, I don't think the key rune counts. I think I'd agree between the Cackler and the Sunspire Griffin. I mean, you do have a lot of 3-drops already. I mean, granted, they're not as good as Sunspire, but you have 3-drops.
Yeah.
I'd probably take the 1-drop.
All right.
I mean, and just basically plan on playing full 3-color.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this pack is pretty bad. You could take a 2-drop here, but he doesn't do much. You could take a 6-drop that doesn't do much. You could take Lobber Crew. Lobber Crew is always, decent.
It is. I don't think you need him, though. I think Nivix Cyclops fulfills the same role.
Mm-hmm. Electromancer would make any tricks we get easier. We don't actually have a single trick now, do we?
No, we don't.
That's really awkward. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I played Return to Ravnica. I don't remember what the tricks were. None of the ones wheeled. I was expecting aerial maneuvers to wheel, and it didn't.
Right. I feel fairly comfortable taking the Electromancer, just because, in Triple Ravnica, the Spirius guy watched sometimes tabled, just wasn't valued.
Usually, it almost, it pretty reliably tabled.
It may be different in this format, but I feel like you can get it later.
So this pack is also bad.
This pack's miserable.
Yeah. Could just take a spawn of, or not a spawn of Ursmati, sorry, a Batterhorn and blow up with Bluestone or something.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's your best option. That's a pretty miserable pack. This is where you I feel like you need to get rewarded in this pack and just.
Yeah. I've been kind of surprised. I mean, like in the first pack, it seemed like red, white, and blue were pretty open. But yeah, not so much here. Pursuit of Flight's always good, but I mean, Cyclonic Rift in contention, I can't see. I think the script.
No, it's not close. Yeah.
Our one instant. Oh man, that makes these two guys much worse.
Yes, it does.
And again, I mean, we've had an opportunity or two to take another lead, but we have to give up a pretty solid playable to have done so.
Yeah, we've seen some Azorius Guildgates. Maybe that first one will table.
I'm going to go ahead and pause while we wait for the next pick. So here we're rewarded a bit. I mean, we get a Soulsworn Spirit or a Frostborn Weird. Both are very solid. Kind of leaning towards the Soulsworn Spirit.
Really?
I mean, I just remember it being pretty awesome. Frostborn Weird is really good.
Frostborn Weird was just amazing, though. I mean, granted, you only have 2 4-drops at this point, and so you can definitely.
Yeah, I don't want to play Opal Lake.
You definitely use another.
And we have a ton of 2-drops.
And Frostborn's going to be hard to cast on turn 2, but so is Electromancer.
Yeah.
You're right. I think it is close. Frostburn is so good.
He has good synergy with Sphinx. He always gets in.
True. Frostburn.
He turns on Battalion.
Okay.
All right. New Prof Guildmate is good.
Yep.
Not taking Stealer of them.
No, it's not.
Yeah, there's really nothing else here. I mean, Traitorous Instinct, I guess, is not completely unplayable. I wonder if Static Caster will change in value. It was pretty not good.
Yeah, I'd probably just take the Pursuit of Light.
Yeah. We might not be able to play Flux Charger or Nivix Cyclops.
I think they're still
keep
playable.
the Flux Charger, but well, this is a little difficult. Vassal Soul I like, but we might want the Guildgate. You have 20 creatures.
You do have 20 creatures, but you also only have 22 playables. That's including some.
I guess you're right.
I mean, I agree. I think you need the fixers though, or unless you plan on playing 18 lands. But
I think I am.
You're in a pretty tough position here.
Yeah. Well, we've hidden some cards that we can bring.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough.
I'll take the Guildgate, but yeah, that's close.
I think being 3-color is hard.
The question is, which is better here? Which picture?
And what's the other picture? Oh, that one's way better.
This one, the new one, is better?
Yeah, I like the new one more.
Yeah. So here we have a Kirun or a Hussar Patrol. Kind of leaning towards the Hussar Patrol. I think it's pretty strong. Granted, this does fix colors.
It does fix colors, and it still is a 2/2 flyer. I'm a big fan of Hussar Patrol, though.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm convinced. Hurts your curve a little bit, though.
It does.
That was a good table.
Yeah.
Definitely wanted that one to come around.
Yeah. We don't have any other 6-drops, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Pretty clearly taking the power conversions here, so it's going to be an all-star in our deck. But yeah, pretty awkward. So the question is 3 gates enough to play Opal Lake Guardians?
No.
You don't think so?
If we didn't have the Hussar Patrol, then I would play it for curve reasons.
Yeah.
But with the Hussar Patrol, not close.
Man, how awkward is it that we literally only have 1 instant?
Yeah, at this point, I definitely would have won the Martial Glory over the Skin brand.
Yeah.
And I know, oftentimes you can say, downsize, definitely. And oftentimes, you can say that sort of thing, hindsight's 20/20 and all. But I think it's a valid comment, just, as we go forward in this format, something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
That tricks were very, very common in Gatecrash, but they were not necessarily as common if you look at the block as a whole.
Perhaps, yeah. Yeah, I don't really remember there being a huge ton of instant-based tricks in Return to Ravnica. Alright, so... we're not going in. I guess we're playing the Cyclops and the Flux Charger, although they're pretty unexciting. I guess they work fine with Magellan Sphinx, or at least the Flux Charger does.
Yeah.
We certainly have enough creatures for platform after. We've totally lost. It might be worth running. Let's see what... We have these 2 Debtors Pulpits. So here's 23. Fairly decent curve. For some reason I thought we picked up that Boros...
Kieran?
Yeah, I guess we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We have a fairly even split here on colors. Like, leaning more towards, I guess, slightly blue-white versus red.
Right. Which might mean, actually, that either Electromancer or Cackler should be cut.
I'm kind of leaning towards Electromancer, I guess.
I could see cutting Electromancer. It's awkward if we cut Electromancer and add in a sorcery.
Or, like, totally lost.
Yeah.
We could just cut Cackler and then do that.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think totally lost would be fine in this deck.
I think it would be too, but what do you think for Cackler versus Electromancer?
I don't see this deck getting in on the ground a whole lot, so I don't know about the Cackler. I mean, it is nice having 1-drops. And this guy does make, we only have 2 instants, so his secondary ability is pretty irrelevant for us.
Right.
It's not completely irrelevant, though.
No, not completely.
I mean, I think it's probably reasonable to keep in Pursuit of Flight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You have the Skyjax, the Mastiff, the Deputy, the Electromancer, the Skinbrand, the Armor Transport, etc. There are plenty of targets.
How do you think about what do you think about our mana? Like, is 3 Guild Gates enough here?
I mean, the mana...
Or should we consider the Clue Stone?
I wouldn't consider the Clue Stone. Absolutely would not.
Even over taking Nivix Cyclops out? It's basically a 1/4 defender in our deck.
It is. That's true. Yeah. Okay, I can see taking the Nivix out, although I'm not sure that we want a Clue Stone. I mean, turn 3, that's just not where we want to be.
No, it's not. I mean, especially since we have cards like this.
In a 1/4 isn't the worst thing in the world, considering we have kind of a flying theme, a minor flying theme.
Yeah, that's true. It does defend on the ground fairly well. And who knows, with something like Totally Lost, we might be able to randomly crack in for a bunch of damage or something.
Right.
Or
I think I'd probably leave it as
probably
is.
just leave it like this.
Yeah.
So if we look by color, so that's probably fine. And then we'll just maybe lean a little more on the white side, like take out a mountain and put in this, and then take out 2 islands and put in these. And actually, we probably could take out a mountain and put in a plains at that point.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. How many red sources is that? 6 red sources?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And 7 white sources?
It's
And
not very many.
5, 8, and only 7 blue sources.
That's not very many.
That is not very many at all. Now, is there a way around it, though?
Not without more guild gates. Or at least I don't see it. The only other way would be to add in like a clue stone or something, which...
Okay, so let's look at not just the curve, but also kind of when you want to play some of these things.
White, we want to play fairly early.
White needs to be played early. Blue needs to be played early with the white.
That
And so,
is mid-range, more mid-range.
so I could see cutting another mountain.
Putting
I mean,
plains.
And that makes the Electromancer much worse, though.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way around that. Our mana's awkward here either way.
So would you...
Could take out the Nivix Cyclops and just run an 18th land.
I could see that.
There you go.
It'd be interesting.
Take him out and put it in a mountain.
Would you put in the clue stone or a land?
I don't know. We could just put the clue stone in, see how it runs.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. I'm not excited about it at all.
Yeah.
We'll give that a shot. All right, on to game 1.